Biden DOJ finally admits Hunter Biden's laptop is real. And this is
so funny.
Yeah, it is funny. But I mean, listen, we're making progress, guys. We're making progress.
Yeah.
The Justice Department has officially confirmed the authenticity of Hunter Biden's laptop, a development that comes after years of suppressing this information. DOJ's acknowledgement is based on the laptop being left at a computer store and its contents matching what investigators obtained via search warrant at Hunter's iCloud. The laptop from Hell Story, initially reported by the New York Post, faced significant denial and discrediting by the media, with the CNN, the Washington Post, the New York Times eventually acknowledging its authenticity. In an interview with the White House and Means Committee, IRS Supervisory Criminal Investigative Agent Gary Shapley, a whistleblower, revealed that FBI extensively analyzed the laptop and federal prosecutors expressed confidence that it was indeed Hunter Biden's laptop that had not been manipulated. Shapley affirmed it was a reliable evidence. Tom.
So look, this is one, let's connect the dots. The media has been unleashed in the last 6 months to write stories that were critical of Joe Biden, his capabilities, his mental acuity. We've seen it. And these are top tier, frontline, mainstream media writing stories. Check. Obama attempts to talk to Biden right before Christmas to strategize about, you got to get serious about this. You should get my boy David Poloff involved. You should get some folks in here from my campaign to help you out. Apparently, Biden's people said, nope, don't want to do that. Obama circled back again, as the story goes, and said, look, you got people at the White House and you got people 100 miles away in Virginia that are trying to run this campaign. You're disconnected. Apparently, Biden said, thank you, Barack. We got this. And what did Obama do? Leaked it to the media. The mainstream media had the same article, the same story in unison. What does that have to do with the laptop? Well, guess what? The next data point comes out. The DOJ. This is Biden. They call it Biden's DOJ, but it's basically the DOJ that's sort of divorcing itself from Biden and saying, yeah, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, it was reliable evidence, and it was pictures of a young girl, picture of him snorting, and a couple of emails where he actually referenced getting his dad, you know, the president, involved, and getting kickbacks from foreign governments for fake consulting with energy companies. Yeah, it was real.
Yeah, well, guess what? This is the perfect. And again, you have to tip your hat to the left, the Democrats. These cats play to win, and they have a great playbook. Okay, they have not only have with this story, they have the FBI go there to Twitter, shut down every single story. Okay, and then 4 years later, this is what they want. They wanted to drag it on so long that now when we hear it, we're over it. Everybody's like,
no, it's not that we're over it. It's what's next. Follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, though, when this came out, do you know when this would have been hot, which would have changed voters' ideas on who to vote for, was during the election. So what I'm saying is right now, even right now, while you read that, I went, are we still talking about it? Like, I'm personally tired of it. I know it's real. I know what he did on it. I know about the drugs. I know about the cocaine and the underage looking.
Follow the breadcrumbs.
Rob,
Vinny,
when is that story?
You're
Rob,
right.
When is that story?
That article came out the 51 or 50.
Can you zoom out so I can see who the logo is at the top?
This is from Politico.
This is from Politico,
yes,
saying that it's so funny.
And this is from October 19th of 2020, when 50 former senior intelligence officials signed a letter
2 weeks
stating
before election.
Correct, that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation.
But they're brilliant, though. But Tom, did you feel like? Do you understand what they do?
Senior, by the way, senior intelligence.
By the way, heads, the top.
I didn't realize that there was an argument over whether the laptop actually existed.
What do you mean? They said,
hear me out.
It's fake.
I thought the argument was what's in the laptop.
Correct. So basically,
not the existence of a laptop.
We had plural. There was
but we had, what's his name, John Paul Mac Isaac.
Yeah, the beret guy,
the half blind guy that was here. Yeah. He said, I touched it, I felt it. I can't see half the shit, but I have it. By the way, his house got swatted the other day by the Delaware PD. This friend
he has those crazy eyes where he can see Pat and Tom at the same time.
He's blind, Vinny.
No, he's not. He wasn't blind. He was looking at Tom and Pat.
Guys,
no, he's
when you see laptop, when you see the word laptop, substitute it in your mind. Election deception tool. And so in 2020, the laptop was an election deception tool 2 weeks before, so that they could basically manipulate the election toward Biden against Trump. Now they're using the election deception tool to prepare for the movement of Biden aside. Adam, don't start yelling. I'm going there again. And Now the question is, what do you do with it? This basically all but guarantees you need to pardon Hunter. And it also means if you're pardoning Hunter and you have all the stuff in there that was very incriminatory about Biden and the family members actually taking the money, how do you pardon Biden? If you lose the election, you can't pardon Biden. If Gavin Newsom wins the election and the deal is pardon him on the first day, damn well you better win that election, right?
Of course.
How do you pardon Biden?
That's a great point.
I believe that not only do you have to say, at the convention, there'll be some guys backstage who throw a bunch of bags down the stairs. Okay, oh my gosh, did you hear that? Biden has fallen downstairs. We need a new candidate. So they're going to architect something at the convention, right? He slipped and fell in the shower, whatever it is, or for the good of the company, for the good of the country, I've decided to step aside, and I will allow someone else to be here. However they architect that, and I think it's happening at the convention. Now the question is, how do you pardon Biden? I think he has to resign, and you got to get Kamala to do it for one day. But then my question would be, if I was Kamala Harris, that's got a big old price tag on it. Okay, wait. So you're pushing me aside. I'm out. I'm not going to run. She's got an ego. She wants to run. And you're going to set aside for one day, and you want me to pardon him for one day? So I get to be the first female president for one day, and I'm going to pardon him? He says, you got to put a couple more zeros on that. So my question is, in all this, follow the breadcrumbs. It is steadily leading to Biden is out. And it's very steadily leading to that. Just look at the breadcrumbs that are in plain sight that are being leaked by the left. And he can pardon his family, but he can't pardon himself. They basically reminded Donald Trump that you can't pardon yourself. Remember how loud they yelled? You can't pardon yourself on the last day out of here. You can't do that. Well, how do you pardon Biden? Because he's incriminated in this. When you say the laptop's real, then you say kickbacks from foreign governments are real. And so how do you pardon yourself? He's got to step aside for one day.
Tom, I'm going to ask you the question I ask Vinny all the time. You want to bet? I don't think... Look, everyone has this speculation that Michelle Obama's coming to rescue this, that Kamala Harris is going to be president for a day. It's becoming clearer and clearer and clearer. It's Trump versus Biden. Whether you like it or not, the election nobody in the country wants to see. But it's happening.
I do not think at all that Joe Biden...
How much you want to bet? I'm not saying that I'm advocating for Joe Biden, but we're all coming up with these Gavin Newsom conspiracy theories.
What I'm saying is,
and all of a sudden, Michelle Obama is going to whip her dick out and become the president.
You said it.
I'm just saying,
said it, brother.
It's clearly...
Hold on. But Adam, can I ask you a question?
It's Obama.
Can I ask you a question?
It's Biden versus Trump.
So you think in 1 year on a debate stage, Donald Trump with Joe Biden is going to happen?
Yes.
Are you absolutely out of your mind? Besides the fact that I don't think he's going to physically mentally be there.
Talk is cheap. Put your money where your mouth is.
Hold on one second.
I'm not saying I'm looking forward to it. I'm saying that is what is far and more likely to happen. Pull up the presidential odds right now. But just look at the numbers, guys. This guy thinks that he's going to drop out of the race and president. And he's going to honestly he's going to do all this nonsense stuff.
I want to ask him, Rob, and
just Adam, follow the odds.
Do you three think it's going to come down to Joe Biden against him? I'm just curious. Do you think? By the way, look at where Michelle has come up.
It's still 12 to 1.
It doesn't matter.
That's a lot different from 1 to 1.
Yeah, but by the way, Michelle wasn't even in the top 30 6 months ago. FYI, Adam, numbers guy, she was all the way at the freaking bottom with Oprah. Look at where her ass is right now. Right behind your boy and we're less than a year away.
So stop talking about it and be about it and put your money where your mouth is.
I'm your friend.
Then your talk is cheap. Oh, you're my friend. You don't want to take my money? I'll gladly take your money, Vinny.
Can I ask you one question?
There's no emotion here. I'm just saying, look at the numbers.
Do you think it's going to be just no betting? Do you think it's going to be Joe Biden to go against him?
When Biden's...
You just asked him a question, Tom.
Hold on. I want to ask you too, and you too, Rob. Just do you think it's going to be Joe Biden versus Trump when it comes down to it?
I think here's how I process that. If no one's ever gotten reelected, being in the 30s, okay, and Democrats are not, going to sit there and just be like, yeah, listen, let's take this L. I don't think that's the kind of a party they are. I don't think they're going to just take an L and say, you guys, like this morning, Josh Allen was being interviewed. Not this morning, day after they lost.
The quarterback.
Yeah, the quarterback from Buffalo Bills. So, how's it feel now that it's real? At least I'm alive. At least I have another day, right? Which, kind of trying to, play it out. And you heard Giannis when he lost, and the guy asked him a question, do you see the season as a failure? And Giannis loses it,
Pissed
right?
off, yeah.
And gives an answer. I don't think Dems are going to let an easy victory for Trump, especially Trump, okay? Think about the Republicans that have won in the past and how much they hated him. Bush was the Antichrist, right? You go to Senior, you go to Reagan. They really hated, some of these guys. The level of hate they got for Trump, it's nowhere near to any of the candidates they've ever had. Okay. So do I think they're going to let Biden be the candidate? It's one of the worst decisions they will ever make if they do that. One of the worst decisions they'll ever make. So for me to sit there and take his argument and say, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen, I understand his logic because what month are we? January? We got, 10 months left? Less than 10 months left? 9.5 months left?
Months.
I get what he's saying. But also at the same time, man, I don't know why I'm convinced. I've said this, the hardest part they're going to have is Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, how do you get her to set aside? You have to give her something for her to set aside without complaining, bitching, and whining. And you can't replace her with a white guy. Trump's going to run with that. Republicans are going to run with that. They put another woman in the back of the bus. So all the progress Democrats were talking about, 60 years of wasted, boom, out the window, right?
Yep.
Kamala, go sit in the back of the bus. The first thing you'll see is a picture, a meme with Kamala Harris in the back of the bus.
Yep.
And you know who's going to post that picture? Donald Trump Jr. and Donald Trump are going to post it. And then everybody else from the MAGA camp is going to share that because it's going to be funny to share. It's going to make sense. So, no, I think the argument with Kamala is if they lead with Michelle as president and they lead with Newsom as VP, it's a phenomenal forgiveness of Kamala sitting down and saying, okay, that makes sense. I think that's the only way where the Democratic vote is not going to do that. But the right is still going to be able to say, no, you still sat down the VP and replace her with Newsom. So maybe it's going to be Newsom the lead and Michelle VP. And the reason why Michelle wants to be VP is because she does not want any of the job or nothing to do. She's a great promoter. She'll go around talking about how amazing Gavin Newsom is and how much he's done for the states and how great of a thing. That's the card they're going to play. But if they just go with Joe, Adam, my biggest challenge is if they just go with Joe, you're losing 9 out of 10 times on many of these polls. So why would they do that? I don't see Dems just taking an L and saying this is a lost cause.
I fully agree with your perspective right here. And this political jockeying, every angle you turn, all right, if Joe doesn't go, then we're going to have Kamala run, but we don't want Kamala. But all right, so we're going to put Michelle there, and then it's going to be Michelle and then Kamala. But then there's 2 black women running for president. That's not going to happen. Oh, my God, that's never happened. No woman's been elected. Okay, so then we're going to have Gavin Newsom come in, and he's going to be our savior. But everyone knows that Gavin Newsom's just like all these jockeying. I just look at the facts in front of my face. They are looking at they're running into a buzzsaw with Trump, and they're just having senile old Joe Biden at the front of the bus, and they're hoping, and they're praying, and they're wishing that, all right, America, we're going to do it again, and we're just going to convince everybody that Trump is a threat to democracy and he's racist, and they're going to try to do that, and it's likely to fail, but he's the guy.
The only reason he won in 2020, Adam, is because, by the way, COVID. He's the bad guy. No, I don't care if Jesus Christ was in, but that and suppressing stories with the FBI.
I agree with you.
Hold on. So to think right now with this 4-year track record, which keeps getting worse, that they're going to both walk in and Biden has any chance, you're going to throw.
I'm not saying he has a chance. I'm saying he's going to be running.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.